Daryl Kimball is the executive director of the Arms Control Association. He joins us live from Washington, D.C. Good to have you on with us. There are indications that the rebuilding of the site could have started before the Hanoi Summit. What kind of a message is North Korea sending?
Well, it's unclear exactly what kind of message they're trying to send. I think most of the people who are commenting on this today are just speculating, but I think one thing is clear, and that is that the diplomatic process that began a little more than a year ago between Donald Trump and Kim Jong-un is a fragile diplomatic process. We have not seen a great deal of progress since the Singapore summit. The North Korean ballistic missile testing halt and nuclear testing halt is temporary. And these satellite images underscore the fact that North Korea can reverse those confidence-building measures. They could resume ballistic missile testing, even nuclear testing. They are continuing to produce nuclear bomb-grade material at their Yongbyon facility. And so, you know, we need to make sure that the diplomatic process that did not produce any results in Hanoi gets back on track. And what worries me is that there is not yet a schedule or a plan for a next round of talks about how to bridge the differences that were definitely still there in Hanoi.
Does the reconstruction work mean that another launch could be on the cards?
Well, I don't think so, because, I mean, as your report said, the Sohae facility was used in the past for satellite launching. They haven't done that in quite some time. This facility most recently has been used for fixed rocket motor tests, testing the performance of rocket motors at that site. So North Korea has already conducted many flight tests of its long-range ballistic missiles. I think they know the engines work. The risk is that they conduct additional flight tests, and they can do that from other sites other than this site. So this may be a signal that the North Koreans are sending to remind the United States that they can reverse the steps that they've taken over the last year. It may just be that, but I think we need to hear directly from the North Korean government about what they mean by this. What I would like to see is I'd like to see the United States not making threats about what will happen if North Korea does not behave, but I'd like to see the United States and North Korea making plans to meet again to resolve the differences that they had in Hanoi. And apparently they were actually pretty close to an interim agreement. But for some reason, we don't know for sure, one side or the other pushed that aside. They may have asked for more than the other was clearly willing to do. But it does appear there's a basis for an interim deal that freezes North Korea's nuclear program in exchange for limited sanctions relief, which the North Koreans desperately want because of their economic situation.
And this is all happening as North Korea is going through a chronic food shortage. What do you make of the timing of this? And will this be able to sway negotiations anyway, the fact that North Korea relies heavily on aid?
Well, you know, North Korea has put its people through a great deal of suffering in order to pursue a nuclear weapons program in defiance of the international community. I think Kim Jong-un will be willing to do that again if he needs to, but clearly the leader of North Korea wants to open up his country to foreign investment and trade. In order to do that, he needs sanctions relief. And so at Hanoi, it was very clear that Kim Jong-un was pressing hard for the removal of sanctions in exchange for steps, not complete steps, on denuclearization. So this food shortage is, I think, another sign of the economic challenges that face North Korea. But if necessary, I think Kim Jong-un is going to press ahead with his nuclear and missile program, even if his country does continue to suffer.
Daryl Kimball, Executive Director of the Arms Control Association. It was good to have you on. Thank you.
Thank you.